The Neil Gaiman situation has gotten so bad that all celebrity authors and comic creators and more have started opening up about it after the New York Magazine expose yesterday. Now, we covered the story yesterday, and of course, we've been covering the Neil Gaiman situation since day one, but there's a lot of outlets that still haven't. It's really ridiculous. Fandom Pulse and my channel here were way on top of this. I've actually got comments, if you go over on Blue Sky, talking about like me and the fact that I'm talking about it is somehow worse than what Neil did. It's like very, very bizarre. But it goes to show that these people, a lot of them are more about who you are rather than what you actually do. And J.K. Rowling highlighted this really hard by comparing Neil Gaiman to Harvey Weinstein and noticing the difference between the way people have been reacting in the literary and publishing establishments. She just blew them up way, way hard, called them out on their hypocrisy, and she knows more than anybody because they've been attacking her so hard over the last few years for simply saying that a man cannot be a woman. Very, very simple stuff that you think would just be like, oh yeah, that's true. But not in 2020s, that we are in the woke mind virus era. And Neil Gaiman has been one of the worst proponents of all wokeism out there. And that's exactly why he's been protected this entire time by the publishing industry. We'll get into all of this just in a bit. Please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk all things in science fiction and fantasy, speculative fiction, guys. Very important here to cover all of this because stories shape our culture. And that's what we're trying to do here. And that's also what I'm trying to do. I don't just complain about things that are going on, guys. I create my own. I work very, very hard every day on new books, and of course, I'm a very prolific author, which I'd love for you to check out my work. This is the War. It's a sci-fi space opera trilogy about a man, a spy who embeds himself on an alien starship to bring back information to Earth about this reclusive alien species who is attacking humanity. There's a lot of danger going on. Humanity is on the verge of being wiped out in this war, and it's all up to him. There's a lot that breaks down and goes crazy through this entire series. It builds up through the 3-book trilogy. You're really, really going to enjoy this. If you like Star Wars, if you like Babylon 5, if you like the classics, this is going to be something for you. So grab this. It's available on ebook, print, and audio in the description below, guys, and we appreciate you for being there. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Everybody who reads is awesome, and I'm working on a new trilogy that spins out of this right now. I just finished the 2nd book yesterday and be getting ready to prep the 3rd, and we'll do that whole 3-book release this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. So get in on my work now, and thank you guys for being here. All right, now that Neil Gaiman's story has hit mainstream media, like New York Magazine, through their vulture outlets, celebrities are weighing in on the Sandman creator's bad behavior. A lot of silence up until this point. We've been covering it since last year, as you know. Thank you guys for being here. Been amazing. J.K. Rowling made an especially poignant remark comparing Gaiman to Harvey Weinstein, getting Elon Musk to chime in on the situation. Now, he was rocked yesterday with interviews from his former nanny, Scarlett Pavlovich, for New York Magazine, detailing graphic and horrific details of her claims of sexual abuse and the American Gods writer. It's really, really bad, guys. We went over it yesterday. You can watch that video. A preview, though, Neil Gaiman literally made her lick her own poop as part of his weird fetishes. It's so sick. This guy's disgusting. He degrades women like none other. Always. And it's a male feminist, too. Let's not forget he's a male feminist. I'm going to just point out what I said on X about this yesterday as I go through. I got to find the tweet here. But Neil Gaiman is one of the worst male feminists out there. He's done lots of virtue signaling, and so for the people who would like to go in the comments and go, oh, you know, it's accusations, whatever. This is what Neil said. So listen to Neil. On a day like today, it's worth saying, I believe survivors. Men must not close our eyes and minds to what happens to women in this world. We must fight alongside them for them to be believed at the ballot box and with art and by listening and change this world for the better. Oh, yes. Thank you. Please listen to Neil Gaiman, everyone. He would want us to support the victims. Really appreciate you standing up for women like that, Neil. So this is the type of creeps that are out there. You know, where there's a male feminist, there's a predator every single time. And we've gone over all of the allegations, so you can check those out, like I said. So large comic book outlets, this is kind of weird because Neil Gaiman, of course, did Sandman for the comic book industry. Like Comic Book Resources, Bleeding Cool, Newsarama, and Comics Beat, they've all failed to report on the topic. None of them have articles of it as of yesterday. I haven't checked right now, but I mean, pretty wild. This has been going on for months, and they've said nothing. Celebrities are starting to weigh in. John Scalzi is a science fiction writer, and John Scalzi made several rambling posts. He made a post on his blog a couple months after it started coming out before, and it was very, very weird. It's like, oh, things are being said about a friend of mine, and you shouldn't worship people, and I hope nobody's worshiping me on this level. And it's like, okay, bro, I guess it's about you, and you say this is your friend. Weird. And again, it's about him. Starting to get interview requests about a New York Magazine article re Neil. I'm mostly referring to them to my public statements here. It's certainly been a day so far. Here's another cat. Oh, joy. Yes, you're good on you, John Scalzi. Oh, my gosh. He's really not spoken out about the victims or anything like that. It's always about him when this guy gets into it. One of the worst authors out there. Ron Mars worked for Marvel Comics for a long, long time. He is never one to not pounce on a crisis. He loves doing this. Never met Neil. Never wanted to. The whole always dress in black vibe was pretentious and laughable to me. And early on in his career, I heard a story from another pro that put me off of both Neil and his work. So this guy's like, I always didn't like Neil. Of course, now you say this. You never said it before. When Sandman started to break, the pro told me, oh, that guy, do you know who he is? He's the guy at every party that's talking about you for now, but his eyes are scanning the room for someone more important to latch onto. Seemed to be like an indication of a character or lack thereof. Well, brave of you to say this now, Ron. It would have been nice if you would have said this earlier. Also embedded in the article, Archaven Comics creator Vox Day. I asked him about the topic, and if you guys watched our stream yesterday, we were playing a song called Mr. Tubcuddle. He's done a new funk remix because this is a kind of funky situation. Really funny stuff and worth watching. So the most poignant celebrity tweet, though, is from Harry Potter writer J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling absolutely savaged everybody, rightly so. She just crushed it here. The literary crowd had a hell of a lot to say about Harvey Weinstein before he was convicted. And I botched it, guys. We'll fix this in edit. Let's try this again. The literary crowd that had a hell of a lot to say about Harvey Weinstein before he was convicted has been strangely muted in its response to multiple accusations about Neil Gaiman from young women who'd never met yet, as with Weinstein. Tell remarkably similar stories. So here it is. Yes, they have been strangely muted. The comic industry is silent. A lot of the people who are male feminists and the like have not said anything. They've not been, as you can see with John Scalzi, he just talks about himself and getting interviews rather than actually talking about the situation. A lot of the big accounts that you'd expect, the big feminists out there, Gail Simone, who works for Marvel Comics, has said nothing about it. All this is just because Neil Gaiman has so much clout within the literary industry that he's too big to fail. He has created a big political system around himself, and it's by being political himself, as I've shown you with his own tweet, that caused him to get this way as well. And it's disgusting how these people have reacted. It's disgusting that these people completely ignored it over the last several months when this story has been out there for a long, long time. And it shows exactly how hypocritical the woke are, how the feminists are, how mainstream publishing are. They actually don't care. It's all about clout for them. It's all about political structures. It's all about getting themselves ahead. None of them are willing to take a stand when it's a hard thing to do. None of them. And that is why the establishment is what it is. It's very, very sick and very, very sad. Now, Elon Musk actually chimed in on this as well, saying their silence is deafening. And it definitely is. Their silence has been deafening this entire time with this story. And I've seen it. I've seen nothing coming out of so many people's accounts that you thought would have just been on this. And it's because, this is not important to them. Like I said, who does something is far more important to the SJW than what's actually done. It's all about the name and the brand recognition to these people. They have no morals. And, this is why their entire establishment is crumbling at this point. 2024 was just a tipping point where people said enough is enough, and they're moving on. And you know what? Independents are going to win now because we have real values, we have real stories, we have quality people on our side, and that is what's going to help win this culture war, my friends. All right, thank you, J.K. Rowling, for speaking out and highlighting just how hypocritical these people are. Really appreciate her doing what she's been doing. It's been hard for her over the last few years. She's been getting death threats and worse just for telling the truth about transgenderism, and of course, this is another another harrowing example of just the failure of the entertainment media and the failure of the celebrity class. Please leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button, and do check out this wonderful book series, guys. You're going to love this. It's a 3-book series. The Oration War. It's on ebook, print, and audio for your convenience in the description below. Read it today. Thank you so much for the support. We'll be back soon.